With the first pick in the 2003 NBA draft, the Cleveland Cavaliers select LeBron James. With the second pick in the 2003 NBA draft, the Detroit Pistons select Darko Milicic from Serbia and Montenegro. With the third pick in the 2003 NBA draft, the Denver Nuggets select Carmelo Anthony from Syracuse University.
Let's stop rewriting history for 5 minutes. Every single year, basketball media likes to hold hands, gather in a circle, and pretend that LeBron James's rookie season was this untouchable mythological event where nobody else even mattered. We get it. He was the chosen one, the high school phenom on Sports Illustrated, the savior destined to revive Ohio. Except there's one minor detail the history books love to gloss over. Carmelo Anthony played basketball in the same exact league, in the same exact season, and was flat out better at winning NBA games. Now, I know some of you are already sprinting to the comments to type, but LeBron's VORP and box plus minus. Relax, please. Put down the spreadsheet. We're going to tear down those exact stat nerd copes in a second. The cold hard truth is that in the 2003-2004 season, Carmelo Anthony didn't just put up pretty numbers on a board. He pulled a dead-end franchise out of the Western Conference gutter and shoved them into the playoffs as a 19-year-old kid. LeBron? He was sitting on his couch watching round 1 in April. Today, we're dismantling the PR machine brick by brick. We're breaking down why Carmelo Anthony was stripped of the 2004 Rookie of the Year trophy and why the media covered for LeBron, why deep down, even the voters who filled out those ballots know they really picked a market hype over actual basketball reality. Grab a drink, lock in, and let's get to this video. Now, let's start with the point that usually makes LeBron purists break out in a cold sweat. Winning used to actually be the main prerequisite for individual hardware. Before 2004, if you were a rookie putting up big numbers on a lottery team that missed the postseason, the basketball world called it what it was: empty calories. You got a nice highlight package on SportsCenter, but nobody handed you a prestigious award over a guy who was actively driving a playoff team in the golden era of the Western Conference. Look at the crime scene Melo walked into in the summer of 2003. The 2002-2003 Denver Nuggets won 17 games, 17 people. They were tied with Cleveland for the absolute worst record in the entire sport. That wasn't an NBA basketball team. That was an abstract art project in losing. They were dead last in attendance. The Pepsi Center smelled like stale popcorn and broken dreams, and the franchise hadn't tasted playoff basketball in 8 straight seasons. Enter 19-year-old Carmelo Anthony. What happens? They win 43 games, a massive, staggering 26-game turnaround in a single year. And please don't try to come at me with the, oh, but Denver ended Andre Miller and Vashawn Leonard in free agency argument. Respectfully, if Andre Miller was your primary exhibit for a 26 win jump, you've lost your mind. Andre Miller was a solid veteran, but he wasn't carrying the franchise. Melo was the engine. He was taking and making the most high-pressure shots on the floor every single night. Now let's talk about the terrain. Melo wasn't doing this in a soft league. He was doing it in the 2004 Western Conference. Remember what the West was back then? Every single night was an absolute meat grinder. You had Kevin Garnett in his MVP season, Tim Duncan's prime Spurs, the 4 Hall of Famers on the Lakers, Sacramento, Dallas, Portland. There were 0 nights off, guys. If you slept on a Tuesday in Memphis or Utah, you got embarrassed. Melo took a 17-win squad and dragged them to 43 wins in that environment. Meanwhile, what was going on over in Cleveland? LeBron and the Cavs won 35 games in an Eastern Conference so notoriously awful that a sub-500 team could practically stumble into the 8th seed by accident. The Boston Celtics made the playoffs in the East that year with a 36-46 record. That's why it was called the Leastern Conference. All Cleveland had to do was make the postseason, was be slightly below average. And if they couldn't do that, they couldn't even do that, they went on to win 35 games and lose 47 and went fishing in April. In literally any other decade of NBA history, if a rookie leads a dead-end franchise to a 43-win playoff berth in a brutal conference, and rookie B puts up box score stats on a 35-win lottery team in a weak conference, rookie A wins the award unanimously. So why didn't Melo? Because Nike and David Stern had already drafted the script, and Carmelo threw a wrench into the storyline. If you like this video so far, don't be afraid to like, share, and subscribe. Now let's get back into this. I got more hard-hitting facts for you. Thank you, guys. Now, let's pull back the curtain on the media narrative machine. This is a hill I will happily defend to the end. Carmelo Anthony was actively penalized by award voters for going to college and proving he knew how to play elite team basketball. Think about how backward logic this is. Carmelo goes to Syracuse for 1 year, takes a squad loaded with freshmen and sophomores, carries them on his back to a national championship as an 18-year-old kid, and steps into the NBA as a fully realized lethal scoring option. His triple threat jab step was already art. His mid-range pull-up was automatic, and his footwork was straight out of the textbook. And how did the basketball media react? They treated his brilliance as baseline. They said, well, yeah, he went to college. He's supposed to look polished. It was the ultimate curse of high expectations because Melo had made high-level scoring look effortless and routine. Voters took it for granted. LeBron, on the other hand, came straight out of St. Vincent St. Mary's High School under the brightest spotlight in sports history. Because he skipped college, every basic milestone LeBron hit was treated like a miracle. If LeBron made a simple skip pass across the court or hit a contested mid-range jumper, the broadcast booth practically lost their mind on air. Look at the floor vision. Look at the poise for a teenager. The voters weren't judging in the 2003-2004 season based on what happened on the hardwood. They were judging it on potential and hype. They were so enamored with what LeBron could become in 5 years that they ignored the fact that Carmelo Anthony was flat out better at playing winning basketball right then. The media was heavily invested in the chosen one narrative, giving Rookie of the Year award to Carmelo even though he deserved it, felt to them like admitting the shoe companies, the draft analysis, and the hype machine picked the wrong guy at number 1. It was pure optics over actual production. Now, let's land the knockout punch. This is the stat the national and media desperately hopes you forgot about over the last 20 years. Did you know that Carmelo Anthony won every single Western Conference Rookie of the Month award in the 2003-2004 season? November, December, January, February, March, April. 6 for 6, a clean, undisputed sweep. Did you know that the only other players who were to sweep every Rookie of the Month award in their conference up to that point was David Robinson and Tim Duncan, 2 dominant first ballot Hall of Fame pillars who walked away with their Rookie of the Year trophies without a single debate. In fact, Carmelo Anthony stands today as the only player in the entire history of the NBA to sweep every single Rookie of the Month award for a full season and not win Rookie of the Year. Let that sink in for a second. Think about how completely broken that logic is. For 6 consecutive months, the NBA evaluated the Western Conference, the deepest, most competitive conference in basketball history, and officially declared Carmelo Anthony was the best rookie here this month after month after month, while he was carrying a playoff team. Now, LeBron also swept the Eastern Conference Rookie of the Month awards, but who was LeBron competing against in the East? Dwayne Wade, who has taken time to fit into Miami's system early on, and Chris Bosh on a bad Raptors team. Melo was holding off Amari Stoudemire, Manu Ginobili's lingering eligibility hype, and going to head-to-head against elite defensive schemes designed specifically to stop him. Now, look at the numbers on your screen right now. Melo scored more points per game, he grabbed more rebounds, he shot a higher field goal percentage, he shot a higher free throw percentage, he played fewer minutes per game, and he did it with significantly higher true shooting percentage. Melo is literally the more efficient, more reliable scorer. Yes, LeBron averaged 3 more assists per game. Nobody is denying that. He played point forward, but LeBron was also turning the ball over nearly 3.5 times a night and chucking up bricks from the 3-point range at a brutal 29% clip. If you strip the names, the hype, and the Nike contracts off these 2 stat sheets in April 2004 and handed them to 100 blindfolded basketball analysts and asked, Rookie A scored more, rebounded better, shot higher percentages, swept every monthly award in a tough conference, and led a 17-win team to 43 wins and the playoffs, Rookie B had 3 more assists on a 35-win team that missed the playoffs. All 100 analysts would hand the trophy to Rookie A without blinking. Look, at the end of the day, history became what it became. Nobody is sitting here in the front of this microphone trying to tell you that Carmelo Anthony had a better overall career than LeBron James. Melo became one of the purest, most unstoppable scoring machines the game has ever seen. We all know how the story ended. But the Rookie of the Year isn't a career achievement award given out retroactively based on who won titles 10 years later. It's an award for one single 82-game season. And in the winter and spring of 2003-2004, Carmelo Anthony swept every single month, played better basketball, won more clutch games, and transformed a dead franchise in a brutal conference. He earned that trophy on the court. The media just gave it to the guy they built the hype machine around. Am I crazy? Or are you guys ready to finally admit that Melo got robbed back in 2004? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. And if you're coming up here using 2012 or 2016 LeBron accomplishments to defend his 2004 Rookie of the Year, save your breath. If you dig real unfiltered hoops talk, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications. I'll catch you guys on the next breakdown. I'm JK, and I just broke it down. Thank you guys. Have a good one.